The basement door slammed shut above us, and I heard the distinctive sound of a deadbolt sliding into place. "Trevor!" I screamed, running back up the stairs, pounding on the door. "Trevor, what are you doing? Let us out!" My son's voice came through the door, muffled but clear, cold, final. "Mom, Dad, you're staying down there. You're too old to manage this house anymore. We're taking over. You'll stay in the basement where it's safe until I can get you into a proper facility. It's for your own good. You're not capable anymore. Trevor, baby, please." I was crying now, still pounding on the door. "We're fine. We don't need a facility, this is our home." "Not anymore, it's not." I heard his footsteps walking away. Then nothing. I collapsed on the stairs, sobbing. We were locked in our own basement, in our own house, by our own son. My husband William stood at the bottom of the stairs, perfectly calm, too calm. "William, do something. Call someone, break down the door." He looked up at me with an expression I couldn't quite read. Not fear, not panic, something else entirely. "Dorothy, come down here. Stop screaming. I need you to be quiet." "Quiet? Our son just locked us in the basement. He's planning to put us in a nursing home. How can you be calm right now?" "Because," William said softly, walking toward his workshop area in the corner of the basement, "I have a secret. Something Trevor doesn't know about. Something that's going to make him regret he ever locked us down here." I stared at my husband of 50 years. "What secret?" He smiled. Actually smiled. "Come here, let me show you what I've been working on for the past decade. This house has more surprises than our son could ever imagine." I wiped my tears and walked down the stairs slowly. William was moving boxes in his workshop area, revealing something I'd never seen before. A hidden panel in the wall. Behind it, a sophisticated system of monitors, switches and controls that looked like something from a security company's control room. "William, what is this?" "Insurance," he said quietly. "I've been installing it piece by piece for 10 years, ever since I retired and had time to really upgrade this house. This basement? It's not a prison, Dorothy. It's a command center, and by tomorrow morning Trevor is going to realize he made the biggest mistake of his life." I looked at the monitors flickering to life, showing views of every room in our house. "What did you do?" I whispered. "I made sure," William said, "that nobody could ever take this house from us. Not burglars, not scammers, and certainly not our own son. But I'm getting ahead of myself. You need to understand how we got here. How a son we raised with love and values could lock his own parents in a basement and try to steal everything we'd worked for. Let me start at the beginning. Before we continue, I just want to say thank you for taking the time to hear my story. If you're comfortable, let me know where you're listening from and what time it is where you are. Now let me tell you my story. My name is Dorothy Ann Thompson, and I was born in 1954 in Richmond, Virginia, to parents who taught me that a home wasn't just a place to live. It was security, legacy, dignity. I married William Thompson in 1973 when I was 19, and he was 21. He'd just finished his electrician's apprenticeship, gotten his journeyman license, was on his way to becoming a master electrician. I worked as a school cafeteria manager, started as a server in 1975, worked my way up to head manager of the entire district's food services program by the time I retired in 2018. We weren't rich, but we worked steady. Saved carefully, built something. In 1978 we bought our first and only house, a 3-bedroom ranch in Durham, North Carolina. Cost $48,000. We put down $9,600 we'd saved over 5 years. Took out a 30-year mortgage for the rest. William worked as a union electrician, commercial jobs, residential jobs, eventually started his own small electrical contracting business on the side. He was good at it, really good. Could wire anything, fix anything, install anything electrical. "This house is our foundation," he used to say while working on various projects. "Everything we build on this foundation. Nobody takes this from us." We paid off that mortgage in 1998, 20 years instead of 30. Every extra dollar we made went to that mortgage. We raised 3 children in that house. Trevor, born in 1986, Janelle, born in 1989, and Ronald, born in 1992. We taught them about hard work, about saving money, about respecting what you have. We made them get jobs as teenagers, made them contribute to household expenses when they became adults living at home, taught them that nothing in life is free. Trevor was always the difficult one, the entitled one. He didn't want to work hard like his siblings. Wanted shortcuts, wanted things handed to him. When he turned 18, he expected us to buy him a car. We said no, you want a car, you save up and buy it yourself like we did. He was furious. Accused us of not loving him as much as his siblings. When he went to community college, he expected us to pay his tuition. We paid half, told him to work part-time for the other half like his sister did. He dropped out after a year, said college was a waste of time, said he'd make money in sales. He got a job selling insurance, made decent money, around $68,000 a year by the time he was 35. Should have been enough to live on, save, build a life. But Trevor spent everything he made, and more. He married Keisha in 2012. She worked part-time retail, made maybe $18,000 a year. They had 2 kids born in 2014 and 2016. They rented a townhouse in Durham for $1,950 a month. Drove cars they couldn't afford. Trevor had a Dodge Charger with $620 monthly payments. Keisha had an SUV at $480 a month. They were drowning in debt. Credit cards maxed out at over $52,000, car loans totaling $35,000. They ate out constantly, bought things they didn't need, lived way beyond their means. William and I watched from a distance, offered advice that was ignored, offered to help them budget. Trevor got angry, said we were judging his lifestyle. But Trevor had a plan. A plan he'd been talking about for years. When you and Dad are gone, he said once at a family dinner, completely casually, Janelle, Ronald and I will split the house sale 3 ways. Should be like $150,000 each, maybe more. Like we were already dead. Like our house was already his. I should have paid more attention to that comment. Should have realized it wasn't just idle speculation about inheritance. It was a plan forming in his mind. But I didn't realize. Not until 6 months ago when things started getting strange. It started with social media posts. Trevor posted on Facebook, worried about Dad today, seemed really confused when I called him. Is this normal aging or something more? Aging parents concerned. William wasn't confused. Trevor had called asking some complicated question about electrical codes for a project. And William had said, let me look that up and call you back. Perfectly reasonable response. But Trevor spun it as confusion. Then another post, Mom forgot we were supposed to meet for lunch today, getting worried about her memory. Anyone else dealing with this? Elder care memory issue. I didn't forget any lunch. We'd never scheduled a lunch. Trevor had gotten his dates mixed up, but he blamed me. More posts over the following months. Each one painting a picture of 2 elderly parents in decline. Confused. Forgetful. Unable to care for themselves. None of it was true. Then William got a call from our primary care doctor. William, your son Trevor called my office yesterday. He's concerned about you and Dorothy, said you're having memory problems, getting confused about medications, having trouble with daily activities. I wanted to check in, is everything okay? Everything's fine, William said, confused. We're not having any problems. Why would Trevor say that? I don't know, but I need to document this. Can you both come in for a cognitive assessment? Just to have it on record that you're both competent and healthy. We went in, took all the tests, passed everything with flying colors. The doctor documented both patients are cognitively intact, managing medications appropriately, living independently without issues. Son's concerns appear to be unfounded. But the doctor's notes also documented that Trevor had called with concerns. That was the point. Trevor was building a paper trail. We found out later that Trevor had also called Adult Protective Services, twice. First call, I'm concerned about my elderly parents. They're living in unsafe conditions, not managing their home properly, seem confused and disoriented. APS sent a social worker to investigate. She found nothing wrong. House was clean, well maintained. William and I were sharp and articulate. Case closed. Second call, 2 months later, my parents are getting worse. I think they're being taken advantage of financially. They're making poor decisions. Someone needs to check on them. Another investigation. Another finding of nothing wrong. Another case closed. But the reports existed, documentation that someone was concerned about us even though the concerns were unfounded. Trevor was building a case. We just didn't know it yet. 3 weeks ago, everything escalated. Trevor showed up at our house at 9 a.m. on a Saturday with a moving truck. Mom, Dad, we need to talk. William and I were having coffee in the kitchen. What's wrong, son? Keisha and I lost our townhouse. We got evicted. We have nowhere to go, we need to stay here. Just temporarily. Just a few weeks until we figure something out. My heart broke for him, for my grandchildren. Of course you can stay here. We have room. Your family. What I didn't know, what we'd find out later, was that Trevor hadn't been evicted. He'd stopped paying rent on purpose, deliberately defaulted, forced an eviction, all to create a reason to move into our house. They moved in that day. Trevor, Keisha, and our 2 grandchildren, 8 and 10 years old. The first week was fine. They were respectful, grateful. The kids were sweet. Keisha helped with cooking. Trevor thanked us constantly. The second week, things started to change. Trevor started rearranging our furniture without asking. This layout makes more sense, don't you think? Keisha started giving me orders. Dorothy, can you watch the kids this afternoon? I have errands. Not asking, telling. Dorothy, can you make dinner tonight? I'm tired. Dorothy, can you do the kids' laundry? Just throw it in with yours. I complied. They were family. I wanted to help, but it escalated. By the third week, they'd completely taken over. Trevor was going through our home office when he thought we weren't looking. I walked in once and found him photographing documents, bank statements, investment accounts, the deed to our house. What are you doing? He jumped. Oh, just helping organize your files. They're a mess in here. We keep them exactly how we want them. Right. Sorry. Just trying to help. But I'd seen him with his phone out, taking pictures. Keisha went through my jewelry box. I came into my bedroom and found her wearing my diamond earrings, the ones William had given me for our 25th wedding anniversary. Keisha, those are mine. I know, they're beautiful. I was just trying them on, hope you don't mind. She took them off slowly, reluctantly, put them back. But later I'd noticed they were missing. She'd stolen them. Trevor called his siblings, Janelle and Ronald, and told them not to visit. Mom and Dad need rest. They're not feeling well. Give them some space. When Janelle called me to check in, Trevor took the phone from my hand. Mom's resting. I'll have her call you back. He hung up. Never gave her the message. He was isolating us. In our own home. Yesterday morning, Trevor came to me and William at breakfast. Dad, I need you to look at something in the basement. I think there's a leak in the foundation. Water damage. You need to see it. William is a master electrician, but he knows construction too. A leak? Where? Come down and I'll show you. We followed Trevor down the basement stairs. Both of us. He'd insisted Dorothy come too. Mom, you should see this too so you understand the scope of the problem. The moment we reached the bottom of the stairs, Trevor bolted back up, slammed the door. We heard a deadbolt slide into place. A deadbolt that hadn't been there yesterday. Trevor must have installed it last night while we were sleeping. Trevor, I screamed. What are you doing? His voice through the door, cold and final. You're staying down there. You're too old to manage this house. We're taking over. You'll stay in the basement where it's safe until I can get you into a facility. It's for your own good. I ran up the stairs, pounding on the door, crying, begging. William stood at the bottom, calm, too calm. That's when he told me he had a secret. And now we're caught up to where I started this story. William moved boxes in his workshop area of the basement, revealing a hidden panel I'd never seen before. Behind it was a sophisticated control system, multiple monitors showing different rooms of our house, a series of switches and breakers, a computer keyboard, what looked like a custom-built security system control board. William, what is this? I whispered, staring at the screens. Sit down, Dorothy. Let me explain. We sat on an old couch in the corner. The basement was finished, had furniture, a small bathroom William had installed years ago, storage shelves, his workshop area. It was actually fairly comfortable as basements go. When I retired from electrical work 5 years ago, William began, I had time, a lot of time. And I started thinking about security, about protecting what we'd built. This house, our savings, our legacy. He gestured to the monitors. I installed cameras throughout the house, every room except bathrooms and our bedroom. I'm not a pervert, I respect privacy, but living room, kitchen, hallways, home office, guest bedrooms, everywhere. Why? I asked. Were you worried about burglaries? Initially, yes, but also scams. There are so many stories about elderly people being taken advantage of, home repair scams, financial exploitation, family members stealing. I wanted us protected. He pointed to another part of the system. I also upgraded all our door locks. They look normal from the outside, standard deadbolts and knobs. But they're smart locks, electronic controlled from this panel. I stared at him. You can control every lock in the house from down here? Every door, front door, back door, bedroom doors, even this basement door. They're all connected to this system. Battery backup in case of power outage. Redundant controls. I can lock or unlock any door remotely. Does Trevor know? Nobody knows. Not even you. I didn't want to worry you. Didn't think we'd ever need it. But I wanted it there, just in case. William turned on the monitors. We could see Trevor in the living room, talking on his phone, Keisha in the kitchen, making lunch. The kids watching TV in the guest bedroom. We can see everything, William said quietly. And the system is recording everything they do from this moment forward. We have evidence. I looked at my husband, the man I'd been married to for 50 years. The careful, methodical electrician who always planned 3 steps ahead. What are we going to do? I asked. We're going to watch. We're going to document. We're going to gather evidence of exactly what Trevor is planning. And then when we have enough, we're going to turn the tables on him. He pointed to the bathroom in the corner. We have water. We have a toilet. I stocked emergency supplies down here years ago. Water bottles, canned food, protein bars. We can last days if we need to. He pulled out a plastic tote from under his workbench. Inside were bottles of water, cans of soup and beans, boxes of crackers, protein bars. You planned for this? I asked, amazed. I planned for emergencies. Never thought one of our children would be the emergency, but I'm glad I prepared. We spent the rest of that day watching the monitors. Trevor went through our home office, opening every drawer, photographing every document he could find. Bank statements showing our $340,000 in savings, investment account statements. The deed to the house showing it was owned free and clear. Our life insurance policies. He called someone. We could hear him through the monitor's audio system. William had installed microphones too, apparently. Yeah, the house is worth about $85,000 according to Zillow. It's paid off. They've got like $340,000 in the bank plus retirement accounts. If I can get guardianship, I can liquidate everything, put them in a cheap Medicaid facility for like $3,000 a month, pocket the rest. My blood ran cold hearing our son talk about us like assets to be liquidated. The person on the other end said something we couldn't hear. No, they're old but not that old. Trevor continued. Both 70-72, healthy, could live another 15 years easily. I can't wait that long. I need money now. The guardianship route is faster. More talking from the other end. Yeah, I've been building the case for 6 months. Got documentation of them being confused. Got APS reports on file even though they didn't find anything. Got doctor's notes that I called with concerns. Now I've got them locked in the basement. I'll tell the judge they're unsafe. Can't manage stairs, had to confine them for their own safety until I could get emergency intervention. William was recording everything. His system was capturing every word. That night, we watched Keisha go through my jewelry box again. This time she pocketed my diamond earrings, my pearl necklace, and a gold bracelet, put them in her purse. We watched Trevor in our bedroom, going through William's dresser, finding William's watch collection, nothing expensive, but sentimental, watches William had collected over decades. Trevor took 3 of them. They're robbing us, I whispered, crying. Our own son is robbing us. I know, baby. I know, but we're documenting everything. Every theft, every conversation, everything. The next morning, this morning, we watched Trevor on the phone again. I need to file an emergency guardianship petition. My parents are elderly, mentally incompetent, unable to care for themselves safely. I need control of their finances and medical decisions immediately. He was calling a lawyer. Yes, I have documentation, doctor's notes, APS reports, evidence they can't maintain their home. They're currently confined to their basement for safety. They can't manage stairs anymore, risk of falling. Lies. All lies. William and I managed stairs just fine. We'd been locked down here, not confined for safety. How fast can we move on this? I need it done this week. Yes, I understand there'll be a hearing. I'll be there. My parents probably won't be able to attend. They're too confused and disoriented. He was planning to have us declared incompetent and take control of everything. This week, William turned to me. We have enough. Time to move. What are you going to do? Tonight, after they're all asleep, we're walking out of here, And we're making sure Trevor can't walk out of any room in this house. Tonight we waited. William monitored the screens. By 11 p.m., the kids were asleep in the guest bedroom. By midnight, Keisha was asleep in our bedroom. Our bedroom, the one she and Trevor had taken over. Trevor stayed up later, watching TV, drinking beer from our refrigerator. Finally, at 1:15 a.m., he went to bed too. William waited another 30 minutes. Then he activated his system. First he unlocked the basement door. Our prison. The electronic lock disengaged silently. We opened the door slowly. Walked up the stairs quietly. We were free. Then, William pulled out his phone. He had an app that controlled all the locks. "Watch this," he whispered. He pressed a button. Throughout the house, bedroom doors locked. Silently. Electronically. Trevor and Keisha were locked in the master bedroom. The kids were locked in the guest bedroom. But safely, with bathroom access in that room. "They're trapped now," William said. "Can't get out until I unlock them." Poetic justice. They locked us in, now they're locked in. I wanted to confront them, to scream at them through the door, to tell them how betrayed I felt. But William stopped me. "No, we do this right. We call the police first. We let them see the situation. We show them our evidence. We do this legally." We went to the living room, our living room in our house. William called 911. "This is William Thompson at 208047 Maple Street in Durham. My son locked my wife and me in our basement for almost 48 hours. We just escaped using a security system he didn't know about. He's currently in the house, asleep in one of the bedrooms. We have video evidence of false imprisonment, theft, and conspiracy to commit guardianship fraud. We need officers here immediately." The 911 operator sounded confused but dispatched units immediately. "Are you in danger right now?" "No, we have the situation contained. My son and daughter-in-law are locked in separate rooms. They can't get to us. But we need police here to document this and make arrests." 3 police cars arrived within 12 minutes. Lights flashing, officers rushing to the door. We let them in, showed them the locked basement where we'd been imprisoned. "That's where our son kept us for 48 hours, William explained. Told us we were too old to manage our home. He was taking over, putting us in a nursing home." "Where is your son now?" the sergeant asked. "Locked in our bedroom. Upstairs. He can't get out. I control the locks." The officers looked confused. William explained the security system, the smart locks, the reversal of the situation. "We have video evidence of everything he did," William said, leading them to the basement, showing them the control room setup. He played back footage of Trevor locking us in the basement. Of Trevor going through our financial documents. Of his phone calls about guardianship fraud. Of him discussing selling our house and institutionalizing us. Of Keisha stealing jewelry. 48 hours of documented evidence. The sergeant whistled. "This is the most organized evidence gathering I've seen in 20 years. Mr. Thompson, you should have been a detective." "I was just protecting my home," William said. The officers went upstairs, found the bedroom door locked electronically. "Mr. Thompson, can you unlock this door, please?" William pressed a button on his phone. The lock clicked. Officers burst in. Weapons drawn. "Police, don't move." Trevor sat up in bed, disoriented. What's going on?" "Trevor Thompson, you're under arrest for false imprisonment, elder abuse and conspiracy to commit fraud." "What? No, my parents are confused. They have dementia. I was trying to help them." "Your parents seem pretty sharp to me," the sergeant said. "And they have 48 hours of video evidence showing exactly what you did. You have the right to remain silent." They read Trevor his rights, handcuffed him, led him downstairs in his boxers and t-shirt. He saw William and me standing in the living room. His face went white. "Dad, how did you couldn't have." 45 years as a master electrician," William said calmly. "You think I don't know how to wire a house with security features? You locked us in the basement. Big mistake. That basement is where I control everything." Keisha was arrested too, accomplice to false imprisonment. Theft of my jewelry. The charges would depend on what the DA decided to pursue. The kids woke up crying. Officers called Janelle. She lived 20 minutes away. She arrived within 15 minutes, furious and crying. "Mom, Dad, I've been trying to call you for days." Trevor said, "You weren't feeling well, wouldn't let me talk to you." She hugged us both, sobbing. "Trevor locked us in the basement," I explained. "For 2 days, He was trying to steal our house. Janelle's face went through shock, rage, grief. My brother did this? We nodded. She took the kids home with her. They'd stay with her until everything got sorted out. Trevor and Keisha were taken to the police station, booked, charged formally. The officers took copies of all Williams' evidence. 48 hours of video. Every phone call, every conversation, every theft, everything. This is the easiest case we've ever had, one officer said. Defense attorney's going to tell him to take whatever plea deal he can get. No way this goes to trial with evidence like this. After everyone left, William and I sat in our living room, our house, silent, now, safe, now. I looked at my husband. How did you know to install all that? I didn't know we'd need it specifically for this, he said. But after 45 years working in people's homes, installing their security systems, seeing how people get taken advantage of, I wanted us protected. Never thought it would be our own son, but I'm glad I was prepared. You saved us. We saved each other. You trusted me when I said I had a plan. That's what matters. We sat there for hours processing what had happened. Our son had tried to steal everything from us, lock us away, take our home, our money, our freedom. But we'd stopped him. The legal process took months. Trevor was charged with false imprisonment, felony, elder abuse felony, attempted guardianship fraud felony, and theft. Keisha was charged as an accomplice to false imprisonment and with theft of my jewelry. The DA's office reviewed all of Williams' evidence, called it the most comprehensive documentation they'd ever seen in an elder abuse case. Usually in these cases it's he said, she said. The prosecutor told us, elderly parents claiming abuse, adult children claiming confusion or dementia. Hard to prove either way, but you have video evidence, audio recordings, time-stamped, date-stamped documentation of every crime. It's a prosecutor's dream. Trevor's lawyer tried to argue the recordings were illegal. Judge shot that down immediately. The homeowner has every right to install security cameras in his own home. Mr. Thompson broke no laws. Your client, however, broke several. Trevor faced 5 to 8 years in prison if convicted at trial. His lawyer advised him to take a plea deal. The offer: plead guilty to all charges, get 4 years in state prison, eligible for parole after 2.5 years with good behavior, full restitution for stolen jewelry, and any damages, permanent restraining order preventing contact with us. Trevor took it. Didn't want to risk trial with that evidence. At the sentencing hearing, the judge asked if we wanted to make a statement. William stood up. Your Honor, that's my son. I raised him, taught him right from wrong, gave him every opportunity, and he chose to lock his elderly parents in a basement to steal their home. He was willing to put us in the cheapest facility he could find and pocket the money from selling our house. He saw us as assets to liquidate, not parents to respect. William's voice broke slightly. I love my son, but he needs to face consequences. He needs to understand that what he did was evil. Maybe prison will teach him that. Maybe it won't. But I won't stand in the way of justice. The judge nodded. 4 years in state prison. Eligible for parole after 30 months. Restitution of $4,800 for stolen jewelry. Permanent restraining order. Bailiff. Remand the defendant. Trevor looked at us as they led him away. He was crying. Dad, I'm sorry. Mom, I'm sorry. I didn't mean. Yes, you did, I said quietly. You meant every word. You planned it for months. You're only sorry you got caught. They took him away. Keisha got a plea deal to 2 years probation, 2,000 hours community service restitution for her part in the jewelry theft, restrained from contact with us. She moved back to her mother's house in Raleigh, with the kids. Janelle and Ronald were devastated. They'd had no idea what Trevor was planning. Mom, Dad, I'm so sorry, Janelle kept saying. I should have visited more, should have checked on you, should have known something was wrong when Trevor told me not to come by. You couldn't have known, William told her. Trevor fooled a lot of people. He's good at manipulation. But he's my brother. I should have seen it. Sometimes the people closest to us are the hardest to see clearly, I said. 6 months after Trevor went to prison, we established a new routine. Janelle visited every Sunday for dinner. Ronald visited every other week. He lived 2 hours away but made the drive. The grandkids, Trevor's kids, visited occasionally with their mother's supervision, though Keisha kept her distance from us. The kids didn't fully understand what had happened, just that Daddy made bad choices and has to be away for a while. William and I stayed in our home. Our home. The one we'd bought in 1978. The one we'd paid off in 20 years. The one Trevor tried to take. We weren't leaving. This house was ours. Our foundation. Our legacy. William upgraded the security system even more after everything that happened. Added more cameras, more sensors, more redundancies. Overkill? I asked him one day as he installed yet another camera. Insurance. He said, I never want us to be vulnerable again. I started leading a support group at our church. Protecting yourself from family exploitation. 20 to 30 elderly people came each month. I told our story, all of it. The slow manipulation, the false reports, the lockdown in the basement, the security system that saved us. How do you recognize the warning signs? Someone asked. Adult children who suddenly take too much interest in your finances, I said, who isolate you from other family members, who build narratives about your decline that aren't true, who suggest you're not capable of managing your own life when you're perfectly fine. What if we don't have a security system like your husband installed? Then you document everything yourself. Keep journals. Record conversations if your state allows single-party consent. Tell trusted friends and family what's happening. Don't let yourself be isolated. And if someone tries to lock you in a room or take your freedom, call 911 immediately. That's false imprisonment. It's illegal. Even if it's your own child. People took notes, asked questions, thanked me for sharing our story. You saved yourselves, one woman said. You give me hope that if something like this happens to me, I can fight back too. You can always fight back, I told her. Always. You're never too old to protect yourself. A year after Trevor went to prison, we got a letter from him. Handwritten, 6 pages long. Mom and Dad, I know you probably don't want to hear from me. I know I don't deserve your forgiveness, but I need to say this anyway. I'm in therapy here. Mandated as part of my sentence. But it's helping. I'm starting to understand what I did. How evil it was. How much I hurt you. I told myself I was helping. That you were too old to manage the house. That putting you in a facility was for your own good. But that was all lies I told myself to justify what I was really doing. Stealing from you. I was drowning in debt. I saw your house, your savings, and I saw a way out of my problems. I saw you as things to be managed, not people to be respected, not parents who sacrificed everything for me. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I don't deserve it. I'm just saying I'm sorry. I'm truly deeply sorry. I don't know what kind of relationship we can have after this. Maybe none. I destroyed that, but I want you to know I'm working on becoming a better person. For my kids, if nothing else. They deserve a father who isn't a thief and a liar. I love you both. I know I have a terrible way of showing it. Trevor. I cried reading that letter. Cried for the son I'd raised. The man he'd become, the waste of it all. William read it too. Didn't cry. Just folded it carefully and set it aside. Do you believe him? I asked. I believe he's sorry he got caught. I believe prison is hard and therapy is making him examine himself. Do I believe he's fundamentally changed? I don't know. Time will tell. Will you write back? William thought about it. Eventually, maybe, not today. He needs to sit with what he did for a while longer. Needs to really understand the consequences. What about when he gets out? He'll be eligible for parole in another 1.5 years. Then we'll decide then. If he's truly changed, if he's truly remorseful, maybe we can rebuild something, but not now. The wounds are too fresh. I understood. I felt the same way. Our son had locked us in a basement, had tried to steal our home, had seen us as obstacles to his financial freedom rather than as parents who loved him. That kind of betrayal doesn't heal quickly. Maybe it never fully heals. But we survived. We protected ourselves. We kept our home, our dignity, our freedom. 2 years after the incident, we're still here, still in our home. William is 74 now. I'm 72. We're healthy, active, sharp. We take walks around the neighborhood, work in our garden, have family dinners with Janelle and Ronald and their families. Our house is worth over $520,000 now. Real estate values keep climbing in Durham. We have our savings, our pensions, our social security. We're financially secure. And we have William's security system, upgraded, expanded, always watching. Overkill? I still sometimes ask when I see all the cameras, all the monitors in the basement control room. No, William says. Preparation, protection, peace of mind. Do you think Trevor will try again? When he gets out? He can't. The restraining order is permanent. He comes within 500 feet of us or this house. He goes back to prison. He knows that. What about the other kids? Do you worry about them? No. Janelle and Ronald have their own lives, their own homes, their own careers. They're not waiting for us to die so they can inherit. They're building their own foundations. Like we did. Like we did. Last Sunday at family dinner, Janelle asked us, Mom, Dad, have you thought about what happens to the house when you're gone? I mean, eventually. Not soon, but eventually. William and I exchanged glances. We've updated our will, William said. The house and everything else gets split equally between you and Ronald. Trevor gets nothing. What if he contests the will? He can't. We have documentation of exactly why he's disinherited: false imprisonment, theft, attempted fraud. No court will overturn that. Janelle nodded slowly. I'm not asking because I want the house. I'm just asking because I want to know your wishes. You should stay here as long as you want. This is your home. We plan to, I said. We're not going anywhere. We fought too hard to keep this house. Nobody's taking it from us. Not even when you're actually too old to manage it? Ronald asked gently. If that day comes, if we genuinely can't manage anymore, we'll make that decision ourselves. William said firmly. Not our children, not doctors, not social workers, us. And we'll decide where we go and how we live. Nobody will ever lock us in a basement again. Metaphorically or literally. I added. Everyone laughed. Dark humor, but humor nonetheless. After dinner, I was doing dishes when Janelle came into the kitchen. Mom, I need to say something. What, baby? I admire you, both of you. What Trevor did, most parents would have crumbled, would have let him take over, would have accepted being put in a facility. But you fought back. You protected yourselves. You showed me that being old doesn't mean being helpless. I hugged my daughter. We're not helpless, we're experienced, we've survived a lot. We'll survive more. Dad's security system, that was genius. Your father is a smart man, always thinking 3 steps ahead. Will you teach me about protecting myself, about planning ahead, about being prepared? Of course. Come by next week. Your dad will show you his whole setup. Maybe you want to install something similar in your own home. I think I do, because I've learned something from all this. You can't trust people just because they're family. You have to trust yourself first. That's exactly right. After everyone left, William and I sat on our back porch watching the sunset. You know what I realized today? I said. What's that? We won. Trevor tried to take everything from us. And we won. Yes, we did. Do you think about him, in prison? Sometimes, I think about the boy he was, the man he became, where it went wrong. Where did it go wrong? William was quiet for a long time. I don't know, we raised him the same as the others, same values, same expectations. But somewhere along the way, he decided he was entitled to shortcuts. Entitled to our money, entitled to our house before we were even gone. Can people change? Really change? I hope so, for his kids' sake if nothing else. But I don't know. Some people are just wired wrong. Do you think we'll ever have a relationship with him again? William thought about it. Maybe, someday, if he truly changes. If he spends years proving he's different. But it will never be what it was. That trust is gone forever. I know, I feel the same way. We sat in comfortable silence, watching the sky turn orange and pink. William. Yeah? Thank you. For what? For being prepared, for installing that security system, for having a plan. You saved us. He took my hand. We saved each other, Dorothy. You trusted me when I said I had a secret. You stayed calm when we could have panicked. We're a team. Always have been. 50 years. 50 years. And hopefully 50 more. I laughed. We'd be 22 years old. Then we better install some really good security systems. We laughed together as the sun set over our home. Our house. Our foundation. The place we'd built together, defended together, kept together. Nobody took it from us. Not our son. Not his greed. Not his manipulation. We protected what was ours. And we'd keep protecting it for as long as we could. Because this house, this foundation was more than just property. It was proof that we'd built something, that we'd succeeded, that we'd created security from nothing. And nobody, not even our own son, could take that away from us. William's secret. His security system, his preparation, his planning had saved us. But the real secret was simpler. Never assume you're safe. Never assume family won't betray you. Never stop protecting what you've built. Stay vigilant. Stay prepared. Stay strong. Because when someone tries to lock you in a basement, literally or figuratively, you need to have a way to fight back. We did. And we won. 3 years after everything happened, Trevor was released from prison on parole. He'd served his full sentence with good behavior, completed therapy programs, done everything required. He didn't try to contact us. The restraining order was still in effect. He moved to Charlotte, got a job in a warehouse, started rebuilding his life quietly. We heard about it through Janelle, who'd been in limited contact with him at his therapist's recommendation to help with his rehabilitation. He's different, she told us over Sunday dinner. Genuinely different. Humble, working hard, paying off his debts, seeing his kids on supervised visits. He's not the man who locked you in the basement. People don't change that much, William said skeptically. I don't know if he's changed or if prison just scared him straight. Janelle admitted, but he asked me to tell you something. What? He said he doesn't expect forgiveness. Doesn't expect a relationship. Just wanted you to know he's living differently now. That he's teaching his kids about earning things, not expecting things. That he thinks about what he did every single day, and it haunts him. I felt something stir in my chest. Not forgiveness, not yet. But maybe the possibility of it someday. Tell him, I said carefully, that we're glad he's doing better. That we hope he continues on that path. That maybe, in a few more years, if he keeps proving himself, we might be willing to talk. But not yet. I'll tell him. William nodded his agreement. Actions over time. That's what matters. Not words. Not apologies. Consistent changed behavior over years. That's the only thing that might rebuild trust. And he understands that. He does. He said he expects nothing. Just wanted you to know he's trying. That was enough. For now. 4 years, 5 years. Time kept passing. We stayed in our home. William continued upgrading his security systems, though now more as a hobby than out of fear. I continued my support group, helping other elderly people protect themselves. We watched our grandchildren, Trevor's kids, grow up through pictures Janelle shared with us. They were teenagers now, good kids who didn't fully understand what their father had done but knew it was serious. We never forgot what Trevor did, but the sharp edge of the betrayal dulled slightly with time, becoming more of a sad memory than an open wound. And through it all, we had each other. We had our home. We had our foundation. William's secret, that elaborate security system he'd built over 10 years, had saved us when we needed it most. But the deeper secret was the life we'd built together. The partnership, the trust, the 50+ years of facing challenges together and coming through stronger. That was the real security system. Not cameras and smart locks, but two people who had each other's backs no matter what. Trevor had tried to take everything from us. Our home, our freedom, our dignity. But he'd failed. Because we were stronger than he understood, more prepared than he knew, more determined than he expected. We were Dorothy and William Thompson. We'd built something from nothing. We'd survived poverty, raised children, created security where none had existed before. And when our own son tried to destroy it all, we fought back. With intelligence. With preparation. With William's secret. And we won. That's the story I tell at my support group now. Not just the dramatic rescue from the basement, but the 50 years of building that came before it. The preparation, the partnership, the refusal to be victims. It's never too late to protect yourself. I tell them, never too late to fight back. Never too late to say this is mine and you can't have it. Because that's what we did. And we're still here in our home, living our lives, secure in what we built. Nobody took it from us. Not our son. Not his greed. Not his betrayal. We protected what was ours. And that's a victory worth celebrating.